I'm Neil Barton, and thank you very much for joining us today. East Texas in Focus. Let's get started right now. First of all, focusing on the pet crisis in the area, looking into why so many animals like dogs and cats are being dumped and abandoned across East Texas. And thanks to the holidays, a common mistake is made. A puppy is a present for Christmas, and why is it a good idea? It's a major commitment. We're talking about pets here, and sadly, instead of finding a forever home, people are likely to leave it on the side of the road. They dump it. That's why we're bringing in the expert today, Gayle Helms. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you,
Neil. It's
so
weird seeing you without a dog or a cat or ferret or whatever.
It's unusual for me too. I want to be hugging on something.
You do such good work here. First of all, tell us about you.
Well, I'm born and raised here in East Texas, actually in Tyler. And my mom used to tell me many years ago, be careful what you pray for. And I used to pray, help me make a difference for these animals here in East Texas. And it came true. And so in 1998, I became the executive director for what was then the Humane Society of Smith County. And then we changed it to the Humane Society of East Texas, and finally to Pets for People, because love is a four-legged word.
It is. So pretty much, once again, let's back up just a little bit. So were you like a civilian working at another job, and you just sort of fell into working with dogs and cats and everything else?
Actually, I was in radio and television for about 30 years prior to.
Oh, man. What did you do, by the way?
Well, I was a program director and traffic manager, so that was a long, long time ago.
We have a whole lot in common then.
Yes,
I did the same thing.
Yes, and so I was on the board of directors, and the executive director was retiring, and so I decided it was time to go from one bunch of animals to another. And so
two-legged to four-legged.
Yes, so I've become the executive director for about 25 years, and it truly is. It's a mission and a ministry for all of us at Pets for People.
So once again, your name is Pets for People. So
F-U-R,
People. How did that come about?
Well, we were just trying to find a name that really typifies what we were about, and we truly are a ministry helping people through pets. So Pets for People seemed like it was a very obvious tagline for us.
Where are you located?
We're where we have always been, off the old Kilgore Highway on the east side of Tyler, and we've been there since 1968.
My goodness gracious.
Long
so it's constant up there.
It is.
You have a nice facility. How many acres do you have there?
We actually have 3 acres. We have one acre dog park, and then the rest is the facility to house all the dogs and cats that we have.
So how many animals can you take?
We are maxed out at about 100 dogs and maybe 25 cats. And usually our adoptions are 66% are dogs and about 33% are cats. But you know, we've got some wonderful animals. They didn't want to be at a shelter. They didn't ask to be, and now all they need is somebody to love them.
So how are you different from like a shelter?
Well, for us, we are a no-kill shelter. We only take animals that we think we can adopt. Maybe they need some medical attention or some socialization, but we take those, and once they come to us, they're safe from euthanasia for as long as it takes us to find a home. We've had somebody there for about 6 years and who recently found a home.
So why is dumping, it's become a news story in our area. In fact, I've been here for 20 years. It was a news story when I got here, it still is. Why are we like a dumping playground here? Well,
you know, we always hear in East Texas that there's a different mentality as far as animals are more of a possession for a lot of people, and they don't believe in spaying and neutering, and that to me is the first key. And then the enforcement of the laws that are already on the books. But you know, there's just it's just totally gotten out of hand. If you don't spay and neuter, they say one female dog and her offspring in 6 years can produce about 67,000 puppies, and one female cat and her offspring in 7 years can produce 412,000 kittens. So it gets out of hand real quick, and people just don't realize it doesn't just affect them, but our tax dollars are being used to try to keep this under control, and it's not working.
What is wrong with our hearts? Because here's one of my questions here. I've lived in different parts of the country. Why are we so blasé about the lives of cats and dogs? Because I was in the Pacific Northwest for a while. I met my wife at a Pets for People sort of situation up there. It was Tuxes and Tails. That's where we met. And I'm telling you, more people up there have more for dignity for dogs and cats and this and that or whatever. And it kind of dawned on me, and it made me sad while I was sitting at those events, because we used to be invited to those every year. You'd sit there and think, there's something wrong in my part of the country where, hey, you know, we got too many cats and dogs, kill them, shoot them, do whatever you got to do. And up here, they are revered. Why don't we have that spirit? Because this is a godly community, a religious community. I don't understand this.
I wish I did, but I don't understand it either. If we could just get people to be responsible and spay and neuter and think about it before you get an animal, because it's at least a 15 or a 20-year commitment.
Oh, I know, because you see on Facebook and social media so many times, what's it called, like glory rides, where in this part of the world, so many animals that are dumped or not cared for are shipped to other parts of the country, like the Northeast or the West or Southwest or whatever, where they have more of a reverence for dogs and cats before they get friends.
Isn't that
Why is
amazing? Their laws are enforced there. I think the weather, the cold weather, has something to do with it. But at least now there's an option for people or for shelters to try to not have to euthanize as many animals, to send them up north where hopefully there's some good loving families and homes up there.
So how do you get by financially?
Another good question. But everything that we do is strictly donation based. We have our fundraisers. We have.
What are your fundraisers?
Well, we're about to go into Saturday, the 18th of November, into Pet Pictures with Santa Paws. And then you can bring everything, including your four-legged children or your two-legged children. But we also have our No-Go Gala, which will be through the end of the year. And that is, don't worry about buying a new dress. Don't worry about all of that and the babysitting. Just buy a ticket for $125, and that just helps us. You cannot imagine how much those donations help us to keep our doors open, because our budget is about $500,000 every year, and it is tough to find donations to cover that, and we certainly don't make it off of our adoptions.
God bless you for doing that. That's a great start right now. When we come back with these Texas in Focus, more with Gayle and more in depth on our topic. Be right back. And welcome back. We're focusing on the pet crisis right here. Dumping dogs, a sight seen too many times. It's a major problem here, the overpopulation of stray animals. On top of that, constant unintentional breeding. We've been told in the past. Once again, would you give us that stat once again about the dog and the two dogs breeding?
About 67,000 puppies, and cats in 7 years, 420,000 kittens. Their babies have babies, and their babies have babies. It gets out of hand real quick.
Once again, she didn't ask me to do this, but I'm doing it because before raising money, talk about your benefits one more time, because people need to know how they can give money, please.
Yes, and you know, Neil, really even $5 a month makes a big difference to us.
How can we give that?
Well, you can go to the website, petsforpeople.org, and there are donation buttons that you can click on. As little as $5 a month makes a big difference to us. We just need the support of the community financially so we can keep our doors open and help more animals.
How many employees do you have?
We have 13, including myself, so it's a paid staff, and we're there 7 days a week.
Can you also volunteer?
Oh, we would love volunteers. If you're at least 18 years old, we would love for you to come out. We have about a 2-hour orientation, and then you're welcome to come anytime we're open, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 1 and 2 to 5.
Now, here's a $64 question. We're coming up on the holidays. What is more romantic than Merry Christmas? Here's Fido. Here's your little puppy right there. And it's cute, and it works out while the eggnog is flowing. Then we know there's one right there. We know what happens then. It's back to work, back to school in January. The eggnog is put away. The bottle of Spike for the eggnog is put away. So then, oh my gosh, I've got a full-grown cat or dog in my hand. Then what?
Yeah. Well, people need to stop and think about it, and Christmas time is not the time to be giving puppies or kittens for Christmas.
So say that again.
Afterwards, Christmas is not the time for giving puppies and kittens as gifts at Christmas time. Wait till after the fact, when all the hubbub is kind of over with and all the presents have been opened. Come out after the fact. And
all the emotions gone.
Yeah, and then you don't want to get a gift for somebody that's a puppy or kitten. You need to do it yourself. So it's a very personal gift. Don't give it to somebody.
I've had dogs and cats and pets all my life, so I'm a little bit experienced, so are you. But some folks are new to this, and they think, well, I want to help out. I think I'd like to have a pet. How do you know when a pet is right or wrong for you?
We, first of all, you need to consider your home environment. If you're not there much, if you don't have a yard, if you have other pets, if you have children that are really too young. But it's a 15-year commitment, so make sure you're going to be willing to spend the time and the money to make sure that it's a healthy, good pet. And then also, we do a lot of screening. We want to make sure that it's going to be a good fit. It's not first come, it's best qualified.
How do you screen?
Well, we want to know if you've got a fenced-in yard, if your other pets are neutered and spayed and have all their vaccinations. We want to know if you've had any pets that have been stolen or you've given them away.
Oh, yeah.
This is a real important, and it's a very serious situation.
Because sometimes people go and they get something brand new, they bring it home. And this happened to me when I lived in Dallas. We had a couple of golden retrievers. They're very sweet. We every day on the weather segment, I did weather in Dallas. We have a nice guy come on for the pets for people there. And so we adopted one from him. We brought it home. It attacked our dogs. It wasn't right.
Right.
Just in case it's not right, what do we do?
Well, you will definitely bring it back to us, but that's why we really encourage meet and greets.
Yes.
Bring your family members, bring
Yes.
your other pets, and let's see if it's going to be a good fit before you ever go home.
You mentioned a ministry. Do you ever go to work sometimes and just think, I can't do this anymore, because by the time you start to whittle things down, here comes a new wave of strays or whatever. Do you ever get discouraged?
Never.
You never do.
A little disappointed in people,
No.
but never
When
in
the
the
problem's
pets.
not
Yes, we
them.
are. Yes, we are.
What else do you need? What do you need?
We need financial support. We just need for people to spread the word about what a wonderful shelter. We are the best little no-kill shelter in all of East Texas.
So once again, can we donate stuff to help out, like bleach or this sort of thing or whatever? I have an old dog house. It's plastic or fiberglass or whatever. My dogs won't go in it. Do you need that?
We can always use those. We have them, but we can always give them to people who were in need. So, you know, if you can go on the website and look at our wish list, we always need bleach, paper towels, different things like that. So it's on the website.
How much bleach do you go through a year?
Oh golly, we go through probably 15 cases in 2 months, and that's going to be 6 in a case. So there's a lot of bleach. We are very meticulous about making sure that our shelter is very healthy and very sanitized.
Well, for someone like me, a bottle of bleach costs like how much?
Well, now it's about $4 a bottle.
But that's still not too much to go
No.
give, like $8 to go give to someone like yourself. Now, they're expensive because you buy in bulk.
Yes.
But you have to have in bulk, right?
Yes, that's right.
What do you need, and what do you want people to know about Pets for People that have not asked you about yet?
Well, we're not like normal shelters. We have indoor-outdoor runs. We have large exercise areas. We have a 1-acre park where the dogs can go down and really stretch their legs. We've got a wonderful cattery. The cats are not in the cages. It's just a really different, sweet, compassionate environment. If we could just get people out there one time, it'll change their perception completely.
It is sweet, because I went and got a great Pyrenees from you, Bernie.
Yes.
And we brought him in the cattery to make sure he was okay with cats.
Yes.
Just to make sure
Yeah.
how the cats looked at him, and he looked at the cats and just kind of smiled. And so we knew we were good, okay?
Yes, yes.
Hold that thought. When we come back, your thoughts will be heard by us as we open up the old In Focus inbox after the break. Please don't touch the dial. And welcome back. Time for the show in which we hear from you, our viewers, and our In Focus inbox. So first of all, this is sent by Lane Kennedy saying, why there are people that are wealthier that have money don't use it to help the animals here in East Texas?
I think so many people really want to help children and people, but also the disadvantaged, and it's just not at the top of the list of priorities for most people.
But the Bible does say we have dominion over the animals on the earth.
Yes, it does.
That means they're in our care.
And we're doing a poor job of stewarding them
Are we, though?
and shepherding them. Yes, we are.
I'm not going to put you on the spot. We were just talking in the commercial break. Years ago, you sent out a flyer to the churches in the area, not asking for money,
No,
just for prayer. Some people get freaked out by that. So what about good wishes or whatever? In one church, we don't have to say which church it was, only one church said, howdy do.
Yeah.
And what did
yeah.
they say?
Well, good luck to you, but we did get a small donation, and hopefully we got some prayers that went up to heaven to help us. So, you know, that's all we're wanting, is just people to remember us and remember us in your prayers, but also you can write that check or make it an automatic deposit.
A little
every
bit of a
month.
tie there. Amen,
Yeah.
sister, huh?
Yeah.
This one's sent by Garrett Vickroy saying, if your shelter reaches full capacity, you guys have the option to send them to another one with more room across the state or the nation.
Well, we actually if we don't have room, we have other resources that people can follow up on. So we're not just going to turn you away. We're going to try to give you some help.
Could you tell us what those are?
Well, it's the SPCA, it's Tyler Animal Control, it's Smith County Animal Control. There are other agencies that can help you outside of Tyler and Smith County. So we do our very best not to leave people hanging, but to really help them.
How many glory rides do you have from there? I mean, people who are so nice, even airplanes taking pets all across the country. That fascinates me, that people love pets that much.
I know. Well, we don't have any relationships like that. All of our animals stay here at our shelter. We really think they're part of our family, and so we hate to send them off to another home. We want to do it ourselves.
I can understand that. Maybe one day, maybe creating sort of a network where one part in Texas or New Mexico gets overrun, they can ship it to California.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you live in the Pacific Northwest, and up there it's a whole different lifestyle, but they do love animals up there, and they put their money where their mouth is.
Rural areas just haven't gotten it yet.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Okay. And as always, we invite feedback to focus on. If you want your voice to be heard next week, send us an email, infocus@ktk.com. Your comments may be seen right here on The Big Show. We come back. Closing words from Gayle. Stay with us. And we're back. Pets for People. Here's the head lady right here. Final thoughts, 55 seconds.
Pets for People is the best little no-kill shelter in all of East Texas. We love the animals that we have in our care. We need people to be supportive of us financially, and then just to pass the word along and to tell people what a wonderful shelter. If we can just get people at our shelter one time, it will totally change their perception of what shelters are. So we're there Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 1, 2 to 5, and you can check us on the web at petsforpeople.org. All of our animals are there, but most of all, just remember to be responsible, spay and neuter, and treat them like one of your family.
Because they should be part of family, not the doggone dog.
Yes, and outside by itself.
Let the dog in for Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, next week, more issues right here. East Texas in Focus. That's coming your way on Saturday. East Texas in Focus at your Fox 51 News at 9. Have a great weekend, everybody.